Yeah, you are welcome to today's class. Today, in my last video, I discussed differentiation using the general method and the first principle. So today, I'm going to be talking about a product rule, using product rule for differentiation. But before I go into that, I'm going to take you back on differentiation using one example. Let's say we have differentiate differentiate y is equal to what? 2x cubed minus 12x plus 10. So let's take this as an exercise. Differentiate y is equal to what? 2x cubed minus 12x plus 10. So if we are to differentiate this, y is equal to this. Solution: dy dx, that is the differentiation of y with respect to x, will be what? Now let's differentiate. For my last video, I explained using general method. How do we differentiate this? You bring the power down, 3, you write everything, 2x cubed, you remove 1 from the power, minus 1. Do you get that? You bring the power down, you write everything, you reduce the power by 1. So same thing repeated for this. This is 12x. The power of x here is 1. So this will be what? 1 into what? 12x 1 minus 1, because the power of x here is 1. So from here plus what? The power of x here is what? 0. Anytime you are differentiating a constant number, that is a number that has to do with maybe a number that doesn't carry x, maybe something like 10, 15, 20, just have it in your mind that whenever you differentiate it will be what? 0. Because x here is, the power of x here is 0. When you bring 0 to multiply this, everything will actually lead to 0. But whenever you are differentiating a variable like y or x, whenever you are differentiating x, is always what? 1. But whenever you are differentiating a constant number like 10, 20, 30, 5, all this one will always give you what? 1. So that is why 10 is 0. Now let's proceed. This is 3 into what? This is 2x. 3 minus 1 is square. Minus 1 into what? 12x raised to the power of what? 1 minus 1 is 0 plus 0. Finally, we can say this is 2 multiplied by 2 is 6x squared minus, this is x raised to the power of 0. Anything raised to the power of 0 is always 1. So 1 multiplied by 12 is 12. So plus 0. So final answer is what? 6x squared minus what? 12. Minus 12. So this is the final answer. This is the final answer. So this is how you differentiate. Now I'm going to proceed fully into product rule. Giving question. I'm going to give you several questions, then I will not solve all. As usual, I'm going to solve some and give you one to try also. So let's take questions on product rule. 1. Differentiate with respect to x. Y is equal to what? X cubed 2x squared plus 5x plus 4. 5x plus 4. So they say we should differentiate this with respect to x. Now, before I proceed into this differentiation, how do you know when to use a product rule? How do you know that this differentiation, I need to use product rule? Whenever there is need for product rule, the function must always be in form of a product. That is, here I'm having two functions. X cubed is a function on its own. This is a function on its own. So joining them together is telling you that they multiply them together. So that is when you know that you have to use a product rule. If you are given a function like this, 3x squared, this is only one function. You don't need product rule for such function. So you differentiate something like this directly. But because these functions are joined together, you must use this rule to differentiate it. Are we together? So what does this rule state? This rule states that whenever you are differentiating two products, y should always be what? U and v. Take those two products to be u and v. Take the first function to be u, take the second function to be what? V. How do you differentiate? The y over the x will be what? You write the first, you write your u, the v over the x. You write your u, you differentiate the v, plus what? You write your v, you differentiate what? The x. So this is what the product rule state. Product rule state that you write the u, you differentiate the v, you write the v, you differentiate the x for your easy understanding, because you might not necessarily cram this formula. This is the shortcut of memorizing it. Now, if you are given two functions to use product rule, all you have to do is to take the first one as the first, take the second one as the second. Whenever you are using product rule, remember this: write the first, differentiate the second, plus write the second, differentiate the first. So you don't need to cram this formula. What did I say? I come again. Write the first, differentiate the second, write the second, differentiate the first. Now let's proceed. What is the first? The y, the x. The first, you write it x cube. You differentiate the second. Let's differentiate this. If you differentiate this, if you bring this power down, it becomes 4x. Follow me. If you bring this 2 to multiply this 2, it becomes 4x. If you remove 1 from here, this one will remain 1. If you differentiate 5x, it gives you what? 5. Because the power of x here is 1. If you use 1 to multiply 5, it will become 5x raised to the power of 1 minus 1. So that x will lead to 0. So I stated something that I said whenever you are differentiating a constant, something like this, it's always 0. Whenever you are differentiating a variable, it's always 1. Now to add this to it, whenever you are differentiating a constant and a variable, it must give you that constant. I come again. Whenever you are differentiating a constant, is what? 0. Whenever you are differentiating a variable, it's always what? 1. Whenever you are differentiating a constant and a variable, it will give you that variable. So that is why 5x give me 5 plus what? This is what? A constant. A constant will always give me 0. So I have write the first, I have differentiate the second. Then plus what? Write the second. The second is what? 2x squared plus 5x plus 4. Now I've write the second. What did I do to the first? I will differentiate it. If you differentiate 3x in x cubed, you bring the power down, it will give you what? 3x squared. So let's expand now. This is x cubed into 4x plus 5. So this will give us the y dx will be equal to what? Can we expand from here? If you use x cubed to multiply 4x squared, 4, this is x raised to the power of 3. That is, you have x in 3 places. This is x raised to the power 1. You have x in 1 places. If you use x in 3 places to multiply x in 1 place, it become x in 4 places. And this 4 is also there. That is 4x raised to the power of 4. X raised to the power of 3 multiplied by 5. It will give us 5x raised to the power of 3. So I have expanded this. Then plus what? Let's expand this also. This is 2x squared multiplied by 3x squared. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. This is x raised to the power of 2. This is x raised to the power of 2. Whenever you are multiplying two things that has the same base but different power, you add their power. So x raised to the power of 2 and x raised to the power of 2 give us what? 6x raised to the power of what? 4. Then when you multiply 5x multiplied by this, 5 times 3 is 15. So this is plus 15x to the power of 3. Then 4 multiplied by this, 4 times 3 is 12. So plus 12x to the power of what? 2. So finally, I can say the y, the x is, you add the one that has the same power together. The power of this is 4. The power of this is 4. So I can add the 2 together. So this will give me 10x to the power of 4 plus, this is the power of this and this is the same thing. So this one will give me 20x to the power of 3 plus what? 12x to the power of 2. So this is the final answer. This is as simple as product rule can be. So all you have to remember is that since you can differentiate, you always write the first, differentiate the second. You add it to what? Write the second, differentiate the first. So I'm going to take one more example, then I will give you 2 questions to also practice because I did 2 also. Now let me solve this. Can I rub this up? Differentiate with respect to s. Y is equal to what? 3 plus 2x 1 minus x. So this function is stating that it is in form of a product because I have a function here, I have a function here. This bracket is telling that they are in multiplication form. So how do we differentiate? Don't forget the y, the x. I'm not going to be writing u dv dx again. I'm going to use the method I gave you in cramming it. You write the first. What do you do to the second? You differentiate it. So since you have write the first, if you have to differentiate 1 minus x, what will it give you? If you differentiate 1, is 0. If you differentiate minus x, don't forget, only if you have to differentiate only x is 1, but because it is minus, the power here is 1. So if you bring 1 down, 1 multiplied by x, 1 minus 1. So this is 1 minus 1, x raised to the power of 0. So if you are differentiate only a variable is 1, but because of this minus, it will be what? Minus 1. I believe you understand that. So plus what? You write the second. The second is 1 minus x. What do you do to the first? You differentiate it. If you differentiate 3 is 0. If you differentiate 2x, don't forget, whenever you are differentiating a constant and a variable, what will it give you? Only the constant. A variable that doesn't have power, to give you only the constant. So this is 2x. 2x, if you differentiate 2x, it gives you what? 2. So the y over the x will be what? 3. Let's expand here. 3 multiplied by minus 1 will give us what? Minus 3. This is plus times minus, give us minus. 2x multiplied by 1 give us 2x. Then plus 1 multiplied by 2 give us 2. Minus x multiplied by 2 give us minus 2x. So the y, the x will be what? This is minus 2 and minus 2x. This is minus 2x and minus 2x. That one will give us minus 4x. Are we together? Then this is minus 3 and 2. Minus 3 means you are owing 3. Plus 2 means you have 2. So whenever you are owing and you have 2, your balance, you will still be owing what? Minus 1. So this is the final answer. So I'm going to give you 2 also questions to practice. You can practice, you can send your answer. If you need more clarification, you can let me know anywhere you didn't get it right. But if you have watched me to this point, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Tutor Sam Academy, like and share. Thank you very much. Now take these 2 questions as practice question. Find the derivative. Find the derivative of y is equal to what? X cubed 3 minus 2x plus 4x squared. This is one question. Number 2, find the derivative of y is equal to 1 minus 2x plus 3x squared 4 minus 5x squared. So you can practice these 2 questions. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.